You are watching Quillbilly Garage, and today we are going to revisit a car from a previous video. This is a 1970 Oldsmobile Toronado. The last video we did on this was where we pulled it out of a construction yard where it had been sitting for years. So my son purchased this car in hopes that the 455 engine would be usable in something else. Unfortunately, for many of those years sitting, the carburetor was off. Air cleaner was sitting over top the hole, but wasn't sealing it up, and there was a hood on the car. So anyhow, we brought the car home and vacuumed out the debris that had gone down the intake. Then we filled the cylinders with oil and let it soak for quite a while. Then we pulled the plugs back out, got a remote starter switch put on it, and cranked over just fine. It was not seized. We did a compression check, obviously a cold compression check, because it hasn't been run in who knows how long. Last licensed in 1982, I believe. Anyway, it had one cylinder with zero compression, and we're hoping that that is a stuck valve. So that was months ago. Now we're back at it. We want to pull the engine out, but we first want to see if it will run. So what we have done, we went through my pile of Quadrajet carburetors, and most of them, there was a linkage interference where it hit the intake manifold. These Tornados have a really low intake so that they will clear the hood. For those who aren't familiar with these are a big front-wheel drive car, a lot of weight up front. So we found a carburetor that would mostly work. The linkage doesn't interfere until the secondaries start to kick in. Should be good enough for what we're doing. We went around the engine and put a bunch of vacuum caps everywhere. We pulled the cap, filed the points, and I did put power to the distributor, open and cranked it over to see that we had spark, which we did, so we put that back together. We've got a boat gas can hooked up to the carburetor. I have pumped the primer bulb a few times to get the fuel bowl full of fuel, and all we have to do now is hook the jumper wire up to the coil and crank on it and see if it'll start, see if it'll fire. Here it goes. Aha. Okay, let's give it a little more gas. I did go ahead and put it in park. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, we're going to hold the choke closed with a screwdriver, not all the linkages in place. Go for it. Oh, stop. Hook that wire back up to the battery cable.
What? We didn't have power?
Nope, not that time. Go for it. Once you stop, go ahead and prime that bulb again. Okay. rest for a minute.
That gallop.
All right, give it another shot. Go for it. All right, go for it. Okay, we better get the battery charger out. All right, pumping a little more fuel in. We got the battery charger going. And choke hold on more or less with the screwdriver, and let's go for it. Try it again. Let's see if it'll start right back up. We're going to call that a success. Oh, we have overheated it. Well, that's a good time to stop. Well, that was fun. I don't think any damage was done, but good time to shut it off.
That's right. Why did it?
Well, that was a little bit of excitement, and that pretty much concludes this episode. We got it running. I think it overheated for a number of reasons. One, we had shut it off so the water pump wasn't circulating anymore. We didn't have a fan on it. Plus, it's an old system. Who knows if something was plugged or not. Who knows if the radiator cap was a little weak. I know that the coolant level wasn't totally full when we started it. You could see it in the radiator, but it wasn't all the way to the top. Anyway, this is a 375 horsepower 455 in a 1970 Oldsmobile Toronado. 500 foot-pounds of torque. It sounded pretty good. On another day, we're going to warm it up again and do a compression test just to know for sure what we have here before pulling it out. So thanks again for watching Quillbilly Garage. We appreciate it. Hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Till next time, enjoy.